future ready leaders and leadership humility. Let's rap about it.
This is Bars at Work, where leadership and personal development meets hip hop. I'm Bajoy Phillip.
And I'm Javen Ferrer. Bars stands for dope lyrics. Every episode, we drop bars about a topic.
Then we break them down for motivation and insights that you can apply in your work.
So there's more bars here, man. Come on. We got to get some more bars.
Let's go. Let's move.
See, it's really chilly, frozen where you find hate for their opposing view, like they're opposing you. But the leader who ain't a seeker of collaborating truth will be lonely at the top, and your latter days is the proof.
But the leader who ain't a seeker of collaborating truth will be lonely at the top at your latter days.
It's the proof.
Come on.
Latter days is the proof. Man, so look, I just look. So work backwards on this one. Well, the leader who ain't a seeker of collaborating truth will be lonely at the top, and your latter days is the proof. The latter days that I'm talking about is how many times people get to the end of their career, even worse, the end of their lives, and they're thinking about not that project that they wish would have happened. They're not thinking about certain amounts of money. They're thinking about people. They're thinking about the collaboration. They're thinking about their friendships, their family, their relationships. So what I'm saying is if you're going through life as a leader and you're not trying to collaborate in truth, getting different opinions, your truth might be your truth. It may or may not be truth overall, but it's your truth. I, as a partner or as a leader, need to understand what your truth is. So that if I understand your truth and I understand my truth, I can find out where the overlap is.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have to believe in it. And that's where I think people go wrong. It's like you're saying something. I'm like, nah, I don't agree with that. Well, that's not my truth. But if it's your truth, I can at least understand where you're coming from. And that's the start of negotiations and collaborating. So in this piece, I'm like, if you get to the end of the road of your career, of your life, and you realize that, man, I haven't collaborated. I don't have the relationships that I wanted to have. That's a hard, lonely place to be in.
Yeah.
And you could be surrounded by people, but still feel lonely.
Do you think organizations in general are designed to almost fight against that type of operating model? Because I feel like in organizations, typically it's like who has the best idea, who has the best performance, who's going to be the one to lead the charge and take ownership of what's happening. And I sometimes feel like that gets in the way of the collaborative atmosphere, because when you collaborate, you're basically sharing power. You're sharing, influence. You're sharing those things. And so
absolutely, that goes back to the Industrial Revolution, I think, and how things were set up to be so efficient and so people didn't have to think about the work. Right, you had systems that you followed, assembly line, conveyor belt, and you just do this, and you had one supervisor, right? So that hierarchy started in corporate America way back, going back over 100 years now, and that has persisted. In the last, couple decades, I think you start to see this shift in how we do projects. So we've mentioned a lot of times about agile and needing to be more nimble. The reason in project management why I really like agile is because it addresses this issue of what you just said. It basically takes the hierarchies of organization and it flattens it. So now we're a team. It doesn't matter if you're a senior leader. It doesn't matter if I'm an entry-level employee. If we're on the same agile team, here's where we are. We're equals and we are collaborating. So now the challenge becomes you have organizations that are starting to have agile projects, which is great. But HR, and this goes into your area, HR is not agile in nature to support these agile teams. So you have these agile teams where it's like, I'm throwing out information, I'm getting problem solved, I'm doing my work, but it's kind of invisible because it's the team productivity that was what matters. But over here in HR, I'm measured by my individual contributions and performance. But I'm not really tracking that when I'm in an agile environment and we're doing these sprints and you see. So you have this shift that's happening, and it's a time of tension because the shift is good, but there's elements that can get lost and left behind that, if they're not careful, corporate America and different companies won't make that shift well and there'll be a lot of fallout. So it's a good transition, but you have to do everything at one time.